Good afternoon. The committee will be in order. Welcome members and guests to the Cities and County Subcommittee meeting. Ms. Anderson, will you please take the roll?
Representative Alexander. Representative Hale. Here. Representative Holtzclaw. Representative McKenzie. Here. Representative Slater. Representative Wright. Here. Chairman Crawford. Present. Chairman Moon.
Present.
Chairman Moon, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Ms. Anderson. At this time, are there any announcements or personal orders? Seeing none, we will take up the first item, House Bill 181 by Chairman Whitson. Chairman Whitson, I think you have a request. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Committee. Request to roll House Bill 181 1 week. I'd rather be in this committee, but I got to go over to Health Committee.
On the bill, sir.
On the bill.
Without exception, House Bill 181 be rolled 1 week. Item number 2 on the agenda on today's calendar is House Bill 284 by Chairman Whitson.
And on the agenda, I request to roll House Bill 284 1 week, Mr. Chairman.
Without objection, we will roll House Bill 284. Hearing no objection, roll 1 week.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Committee.
We are on a roll. Our next bill is House Bill 30 by Chairman Doggett. Is there a motion on House Bill 30? No. We have a motion and a second on House Bill 30. Chairman Doggett, you're recognized for a brief explanation. We do have someone who has requested time to speak.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. I have an amendment here. Code.
Chairman Doggett, let's just do a brief explanation of House Bill 30, then we'll go out of session and have a speaker, and then we'll come back into session and take up your amendment, sir.
Would you like for me to, the amendment rewrites the bill, would you like for me to explain that amendment before you consider taking it up, or just give you an overall example of what we're doing?
Just a brief example.
Brief example, yes, sir. We're seeking to do 3 things. 1, we're defining what adult cabaret entertainment is. 2, we are putting an age requirement to attend performances. And 3, there is a licensure requirement now to be considered an adult cabaret performer.
Outstanding, Chairman Doggett. At this time, we'll go out of session. And I do have someone who's signed up to speak, Lynn Purvis, if you'll come forward and address the committee.
She's running a little bit late. She's on the way.
Well, we will go ahead and go back into session. And Chairman Doggett, you are recognized on House Bill 30, and you have an amendment, sir.
Yes, sir. Amendment code 3060.
Is there a motion on the amendment? We have a motion and a second on Amendment 3060. And if you will explain the amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Like I said earlier, the amendment does 3 things. 1, it defines what adult cabaret entertainment is. The second thing it's going to do is creates a licensure component to this to be an adult cabaret entertainer or performer. And 3, puts an age requirement of 18 years or older to attend adult cabaret performances.
Members, you've heard the explanation of the amendment. Are there questions? Representative McKenzie, you're recognized on the amendment, sir.
Thank you, and thank you, Mr. Chair. On the amendments, it's, I would say, in some aspects, uniquely defined, but others are kind of broad. So I know we just recently lost our Tennessee icon, Jerry King Lawler, who was a pretty profound wrestler. And wrestlers don't wear many clothing, and they kind of wear a lot of adornments. So as I read this, or similar entertainers, and if I look, I guess it's going backwards to start with the go-go dancers on to the female and female impersonators. Then you say, or similar entertainers. That seems to be fairly broad and cross-cutting. Could you explain your rationale for inserting that statement?
Chairman Doggett.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for that question. If you'll go back to 755-1401, which is in the adult-oriented establishment section of the code, adult cabaret is defined there. It uses that term, similar entertainers in that. But more specifically in this amendment with the defining what adult cabaret entertainment is, you'll notice there it says means adult-oriented performances that are harmful to minors, a term as defined in 3917-901. If we go over and reference that section of Tennessee Code, harmful to minors means that quality of any description or representation in whatever form of nudity, sexual excitement, sexual conduct, excess violence, or sadomasochistic abuse when the matter or performance, A, would be found by the average person applying contemporary community standards to appeal predominantly to the prurient, shameful, or morbid interest of minors. B, is patently offensive to prevailing standards in the adult community as a whole with respect to what is suitable for minors, and taken as a whole lacks serious literary, artistic, political, or scientific values for minors. And then after that, you reference that definition, it goes on to say features go-go dancers, exotic dancers, strippers, male or female impersonators, or similar entertainers. And so conversations that I've had with others, wrestling or wrestling, as it's called where I live, that is a theatrical production. So that would fall within this realm of artistic, I think you would say. But as long as they're not doing anything in that section that's considered harmful to minors, then it would not be applicable to wrestling events.
Representative McKenzie.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. But as you so, I think, adequately and aptly described, it does. You look at the body parts the female wrestlers expose to our minors. You look at the lack of clothing, the really, really tight shorts, bikini-type shorts, oftentimes that the male wrestlers tend to wear. I think this is a really slippery slope, and it's directed at kids. I know my children are grown now, but they love The Rock. They love these folks during their generation. I love Jerry the King Lawler and Dusty Rhodes and all those folks. My mayor, county mayor, didn't wear a lot of clothes oftentimes when he was out there wrestling. I've seen more of him than I probably want to need to. But that's part of their profession, and it's a multi-billion-dollar profession. I'll pose that to you, but then I'll also say, my mother died in 1988, and I always think when I look at commercials, and I look at if she saw the commercials that were out there, that are out there now, that weren't then, if she saw the provocative nature of commercials that come on during family hours, it changes. So we have moved our compass, and that pendulum swings. So that definition that you called out is it's pretty tight. It's a tight definition, but then it says other similar entertainers. So I just caution the committee and you that we may be tying ourselves into a really, really slippery slope. I understand the intent. And honestly, I don't fully disagree with the intent. I just think that there are other means and mechanisms if what we're trying to get to is protecting our children. So thank you.
Chairman Doggett, you'd like to respond, sir?
I'll just say that if those statements, and I appreciate the comments, if they were, in fact, then all wrestlers would be guilty of obscenity already, because that's what I read from the obscenity code, section of code, that definition for harmful to minors, and they would already be in violation of that. And there's been no prosecutions for that. There's certain elements of a crime that have to be met, and it has to be done under the adult-oriented establishment section of code, where these performers are doing these things in a manner that are inappropriate for anyone under the age of 18.
Thank you, Chairman Doggett. At this time, with the consent of the committee, I'd like to go out of session and bring today's speaker up and give Lynn Purvis 3 minutes. So we'll go out of session. If they'll come, I may have made an assumption it was an error.
She's just on her way, like her car's just getting parked right now.
Well,
She came here from work and she's like minutes away.
well, we'll go back into session. Apologies of the chair. Does anyone else wish to speak to the item? Seeing none, are the members ready for the question? Is there objection to the question? Hearing no objection, all in favor of Amendment 3060 say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. No. We have one. Please record with the clerk if you desire. We are back on House Bill 30. The amendment made the bill. Is there objection to the question? Hearing no objection, we are voting on House Bill 30. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. No. The ayes prevail. And thank you, Chairman Doggett. This bill will move forward in the amendment to the next available calendar of local government.
Thank you, very much, Mr. Chairman and committee.
Next item on today's calendar is House Bill 168 by Vice Chairman Wright. Vice Chairman Wright, you have a request. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Earlier today, I sent a note to the chair of the full local government committee asking to be taken off notice. I renew that request here in the committee.
House Bill 168, without objection, will be taken off. Now, hearing no objection, House Bill 168 is off notice. That concludes today's calendar. Is there any announcements? Hearing no announcements, without objection, we'll stand adjourned. Hearing no objection, we are adjourned.